right. And we are back this round. We have a return to coverage for Spencer, and his opponent today will be, or this round I should say, will be Quentinn Pierce. Quentinn has recently won a challenge with 4 color as well as Grixis Death Shadow, but today we see him on Blue-Red Murktide. This is a list that Quentinn had been working on with former Pro Tour competitor, GP Top 8 competitor Matt Kling, as 2 Archmage's Charm, 4 Expressive Iteration, 4 Consider, 4 Counter Spell, 4 Ledger Shredder, 4 Lightning Bolt, 4 Mishra's Bauble, 4 Murktide Regent, 4 Ragavan, 1 Visions, 2 Spell Pierce, and 4 Unholy Heat. The sideboard, some of the key cards are the 2 Blood Moon effects in Magus of the Moon and Blood Moon, Flusterstorm, 2 Jace the Mind Sculptors, and then 2 Subtlety, which, according to playtesting partner Matt Kling, is the best card in the sideboard for Quentinn.
All right. Morgan's still looking for that deck list.
Okay.
I figured I would get
That's
it
okay.
here.
I believe we are just resolving mulligans now.
Okay, perfect. Spencer is on red-black mid-range. Hey! Yo! There we go.
Spencer's the same red-black player that we saw earlier, so this is the Dothy Voidwalker Torok deck.
Sweet.
Looks like 2-lander from Quentinn, if I'm not mistaken, or is that a Ragavan? It might be a 1-lander. Oh, he had already mulliganed.
So, like, both players have resolved their mulligans.
18 here from Spencer into 16 from a Thoughtseize. Consider 2 lands, Consider, and Murktide, as well as a Ragavan.
This, yeah, it kind of depends if you have the answer for Ragavan or not.
Yeah.
Right, as far as taking...
Quentinn will be able to fill up his graveyard pretty friggin' quick here for this Murktide if he so chooses.
Consider does a real good job at that.
Yeah, it also helps that he got Thoughtseized.
Right, yeah.
Second land being a Den of the Bugbear into a dashed Ragavan from Spencer. Quentinn will go down to 18.
Trigger eggs on the top. Serum Visions. Also having Ragavan cast spells and putting them into your graveyard.
Yeah, that also will
will
do it.
Murktide.
It does look like Spencer might actually be looking for an answer, though. Looks like chat says that we are not mixed correctly, so we will go ahead and... Thank you so much, chat. That should be coming in as a mixed audio now. Thank you for the update.
Thank goodness for chat.
Yeah, don't let them know that, though.
Oh, right.
Alright, so it does look like Quentinn is going to possibly just go for this
Murky boy.
this Murktide here.
That'll be a 5/5, right? Three spells? Or 3 instants or sorceries?
Yep. So you have a 6/6 Murktide facing down 2 lands from Spencer. It was a fast 6/6 Murktide.
Yeah.
Quentinn electing to use his own dice. Forget the dice that I've left you, Quentinn.
We can have Morgan replace them. And a Seasoned Pyromancer, Spencer. Ooh, discarding Hearse and Fatal Push. Fatal Push does not kill Murktide.
It does not. Some 1/1s coming into play.
Yeah, 2 1/1s.
So shiny. All right. So Quentinn has a 6/6 in play. This currently is a 3-turn clock for Quentinn, but it does look like Quentinn has Lightning Bolt in hand. That does actually not change the clock though.
Right. Yeah. So 16. Still a point short. Curious on the Hearst discard. Probably just doesn't have time for Unlicensed Hearst
Just
anymore.
the Hearst matters. Yeah, it matters now.
Right now that Quentinn's graveyard is gone.
Right. Quentinn will pay 2. Looks like a Ledger Shredder. Oh no, not a Ledger Shredder. We have Expressive Iteration. Holy Heat, Spell.
And another bolt.
Looks like a Bolt. If I was Quentinn, I would take that Bolt and put it into my hand.
Is that a Syncopate? Or
that's just a classic old border counterspell from Quentinn.
Right.
Unholy Heat going to the hand. Lightning Bolt going to exile. Counterspell going to the bottom.
Okay. Must have a land to play said bolt. There we go. Spire Bluff Canal. 6 down to 10.
So Quentinn now does have a 1-turn clock off of the second Lightning Bolt in hand.
That can't be a good good sign when they go bolt you. Yeah, I mean, something's up there.
The thing is, Spencer has drawn so many cards this game. It is entirely possible that he now has like, a Terminate or something along those lines. That is not a Terminate.
No. There are 2 Terminates in his main deck. I'm trying to see what other. Drawing also to 3 Liliana the Veil to Edict. Would take care of the Murktide.
We're out of Liliana range for this turn now.
Yeah, now that there's the Croxa, that's not an option.
All right, Quentin's going to be taking a truck here. Ragavan into Bolt you. Scoop up your cards, Spencer. Yep. And we will go to game 2. Bzz. Yeah, the Lightning Bolt draw is certainly helpful for Quentinn there.
Yes.
Alright, let's take a look here at some of the sideboard options. For Quentinn, probably don't want to bring in the Blood Moon type effects. It's possible that you want something like... Maybe you want EE, but the thing is I mean, EE does get rid of Croxa. Subtlety also gets rid of Croxa, and then Unlicensed Hurts also gets rid of Croxa. How many Croxa were in Spencer's list?
Let's see. So where is Croxa? 3 Croxa Titan of Hunger in the main deck.
He also has, I think, 3 Taurox in the main deck.
Yes, 3 Taurox main, 3 Croxas in the board. Let's see, looking at Hooligan's Command. Probably wants to bring in the extra Turok.
Yeah, the Dothi Voidwalkers seem pretty strong for Spencer in this matchup. Quentin's going to maybe even just consider bringing in EE for that, plus Croxa, if Quentinn knows Dothi Voidwalker is potential.
Yeah, a couple Ashioks, Collective Brutality, Void Mirror.
Yeah, it does look like... Did we... Oh, I thought that said 4.
I thought it did too. But no, it looks like... Okay. I think it's a dot and then a 1.
Got it.
I was like, no, there's some in the main deck.
So we have a second Unlicensed Hearst possibly coming in.
Right.
Probably not going to see Alpine Moon. It's possible that Dream Render comes in. So...
Yeah, maybe.
Let's head back to the players. It looks like they are done sideboarding.
Perfect.
Setting their life totals back to 20.
Probably not going to see Engineered Explosives. I don't think the Rakdos deck wants to be doing that against... Is it? Yeah, I'm seeing Voidwalker here. That card is great.
Yeah, the card's pretty strong. Yeah, I expect Quentinn to probably bring in the subtleties and potentially his own hearse. He also, I'm not sure how Quentinn thinks that this game is play out, but it is possible that Jace the Mind Sculptor is the type of card that he wants just a hard to deal with threat that kind of takes over the game.
Sure. And also, you can hide cards from Thoughtseize effects.
That's
discard on the top of your library.
Alright, players drawing their openers here. Quentinn looks like he has Spell Pierce, Double Counterspell, some number of lands.
Trying to catch a glimpse at Spencer's hand.
Spencer's going to lead on a discard spell. Looks like Inquisition to start. Quentinn did have 2 lands, Murktide, Spell Pierce,
and Holy Heat.
Unholy Heat. Yep. Spencer probably debating between getting rid of one of the counter spells on the Spell Pierce here, unless he's... Yep, Spell Pierce it will be. I didn't know the context of Spencer's hand, but it seemed likely that you would rather leave the redundancy, which means that you could try to force the issue with maybe an early Liliana or something, depending on how the game plays out.
Definitely. Okay, so there's Kroxa coming to play for Spencer. And looks like a consider in response to the trigger.
Quinn putting land into the yard, drawing an additional card.
He might be able to get to
getting rid of one of the counter spells now. Yeah, I mean he definitely can, right? He's gonna have 3 spells. He's going to have
they can play Polluted Delta as
the Delta as the fetch. Yeah, so
that's another turn 2 Murktide for 6.
Yeah, one thing to note though is that by kind of navigating the way this game, Spencer does have the option to have Liliana come down next turn.
Right, definitely.
And it's not like Quentinn can wait 1 turn now because the Spell Pierce is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn's going to go all the way down to 17, which means that we are going to see a Steam Vents come into play, which to me indicates
that he's going for
that we're going to see Murky Boy.
Murktide.
Or he could just be leaving up Counterspell.
And just
he might have changed his mind. It looks like there's a license hearse on the far side as well. But Quentinn will go for the Murktide. Spencer untapped pretty quick there. It's a man that has a Liliana.
Yeah, that's some Liliana confidence.
Despite the color of that is a swamp.
Actually, that's the like other one that's kind of
the neon dynasty swamp.
Not the red one though. That's the other.
Oh, I see.
One that's kind of more flowery.
And looks like we do see Liliana ticking down here to get rid of that Murktide. Quentinn draws Island for the turn.
So yeah, has the option here, probably deploying Hearse. Ooh, found a Shredder.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Liliana.
Shredding ledgers and killing Lilianas, all in a day's work.
Oh, I love Ledger Shredder. That card is so fun.
Quentinn looking to play no Darcy's in his 75 today. 4 full Ledger Shredders.
I mean, 4 Murky Boys. Yeah.
And the full 4 Murktide Regents.
Yes.
Quinn taking a little bit on his pick here for Ledger Shredder. I think trying to decide whether he wants to make it bigger.
Right, the 4 toughness, get out of bolt range.
Are there actually lightning bolts? There are, yeah. 3 lightning bolts as well for Spencer. Discarding the other known counter spell, putting putting Ledger Shredder up to 4 toughness.
And only 2 Fatal Push for Spencer here.
Yeah, one thing that I noticed, there were 0 Dreadbores in the 75.
Mm-hmm.
2 mana here from Spencer. Not sure.
Is that another Liliana?
It looks like it is Ashiok.
Okay, so he did bring in the Ashioks. And this one, I believe, it's opponents can't search their libraries.
Yeah, it's certainly not a Liliana because Quentinn had to read it.
Right. So target himself for the mill, and then exiling their graveyards.
So Spencer's now filled his graveyard pretty well to get back this Kroxa.
Probably going to see the hearse now.
Yeah, hearse probably going to come down and get rid of that Kroxa.
Yeah.
Quentinn did draw an expressive iteration there, and now he's debating whether or not he wants to try and get the land drop or not. The thing to note, though, is that because of the Ashiok, I don't believe you get a fetch land to do it.
Right, yeah, that cuts off his options there.
Quentinn also has Bobble in hand.
Yeah. Bobble iteration.
And we just see a hearse.
Yep.
Cast a Bobble, trigger.
I think he found another Murktide.
Bobble discarded. Quentinn will look at the top card of Spencer's library. And it is the playmat, from what I can see.
Both with the... I did like that in the first round when they bobbled and he put it up to the camera.
Looks like top card is Torok. So multiple options here for 4 mana cards from Spencer the following turn. Ashiok will get attacked, and then Quentinn with 1 card in hand will pass the turn.
Interesting.
Bobble triggers.
Oh, he's responding to his bobble trigger, doing it on Spencer's turn. I was gonna say interesting to give priority back to Spencer. Oh, and the Pyromancer too.
Highest value play right there.
Yes. Alright.
We do see the Torok here. Quentinn will discard Expressive Iteration and Murktide, 2 cards that I believe we actually already... We had to have known at least about the Expressive Iteration from last turn.
Yeah. And he must have drawn the Murktide off of the bobble trigger. No activation from Liliana or from Ashiok.
I'm pretty sure it only has minuses.
Yeah. Lightning Bolt taking care of Turok.
Quentinn will attack Spencer directly.
Attack you. Yeah, I think if he's not worried about having to turn off or turn on his fetch lands immediately, yeah, attacking Spencer. Seems right. You feel pretty comfortable too with the hearse to not be gotten by anything graveyardy.
There we see Dothy Voidwalker coming down. See, now Spencer can minus the Ashiok on Quentinn. And that is what he will do.
For 3 lands, 2 of them fetches, and a Consider. Also exiling the graveyard.
Quentinn would be pretty happy with basically any creature here that can start accruing the hearse in addition to, to really turn up the clock here. In addition to attacking with the Ledger Shredder.
Hearse gets so big.
Very large.
It is wild how quickly that grows.
Quentinn draw another lightning bolt effect.
Let's see.
Ah, Ragavan.
Hey, that's something to crew the hearse.
Yeah.
And swinging for 7.
I think Quentinn could be pretty confident that there was not a fatal push coming from the other side, just due to the fact that the Ledger Shredder had gotten in so many times.
Right.
The other thing that he would probably want to consider is whether there was a lightning bolt from the other side, and sure enough, lightning bolt comes down to get rid of the Ragavan. Really quickly though, that Ragavan should also be exiled for the Dothy Voidwalker.
Yes. Oh, and they remember that.
There we go.
Perfect. Put it in the Voidwalker pile. And dashing, I believe, is only from hand, correct? As far as casting things for its dash cost.
And we see another Torok here. This time without the kicker.
Does the kicker puts a counter on it, correct?
I think it puts 2 counters on it.
Yeah.
Consider. Top card. What will Quentinn do with it? Leave no cards in hand for either player at this exact moment. Also, apparently that is not a second Dothy Voidwalker, just with different frames.
Oh, okay. Oh, the spot. Okay, so targeting the summoning sick copy.
Here, this Dothy Voidwalker can actually sacrifice itself to get the
heat.
The heat. I don't know.
Spencer can take them off of.
Spencer has
Delirium.
Yeah.
Looks like we're doing a Delirium check right now. Planeswalkers and
there you go. That's definitely Delirium.
So 3 Planeswalkers.
Quentinn actually needed to kill the Dothy Voidwalker that was already in play instead of the new one. That way. Oh, looks like Spencer's taking this. Maybe that is what happened.
And he just moved the other one off. And... Right, because the other one could then, after the fact, sack that on to cast the Unholy Heat.
Looks like we're getting a pass here. Quentinn will start taking probably types of things out of the graveyard. Yeah. We'll see sack, cast Unholy Heat.
In response, yeah. Response to the activation so that it's...
I like the taking of the Dothy Voidwalkers here in case K-Command.
Yeah, that's a good card to bring back with Kolaghan's Command. So, yes, yeah, and Holy Heat goes to Spencer, to QJ's graveyard. Bobble you.
Any creature now is a lethal attacker here for Quentinn as well.
Oh, right, yes, yeah. Because Hearse is a 6/6. Channel
two
Soakin'
1/1s.
Zone, which we do have the tokens for. Yeah.
Only attacking with 1 here, leaving room for Unlicensed Hearse. Quentinn will exile probably once again 2 types.
So, Bolt Liliana. Oh, it looks like he does have a Ragavan in hand.
Yeah, snap block there. Pretty easy to lightning bolt coming down. Spell Pierce.
Ooh, what a stack.
Top card for Spencer.
Another Voidwalker.
Voidwalker not as good in this situation, as Voidwalker cannot block the Hearse. Any removal spell will get rid of that token for Quentinn.
He's fiddling with that island. Crew. And we have Chump. And a pass back.
Looks like Quentinn drew Lightning Bolt, though.
Fine being patient. Can the new Voidwalker sack it so it's not like Hearse where it won't count things exiled with previous Hearses. Ooh, Thoughtseize the draw.
So they put void counters on them technically, and it can
So
grab
anything with a
anything
void
with a
counter.
void counter. That is correct.
Okay. Specific wording there. Cast Consider. And Spencer needs to find a blocker for that Hearse or removal.
And we're mostly looking for Terminate or Fatal Push here. Hold
Yep.
Expand would also do it, and that will do it. Quentinn will take the match 2-0. Pretty convincing win there for Quentinn. He now moves to 4-0.
4-0. Great start.
Great start for Quentinn here. Great start for Spencer too, who is going down to 3-1. But we will be back shortly with Quentinn Pierce.
Awesome.
What's up, QJ?
What's going on?
4-0, huh?
4-0 feels pretty good.
So, for the viewer, you literally just won a challenge with 4-color less than a month ago. What are you doing?
The recent Murktide list has just felt really good, even against 4-color. I think 4-color is a bit favored, but I don't know. Nassif's list just seemed so strong against 4-color, and I wanted time in between rounds.
Yeah, so here I got a chance to look at some of the tables during the early rounds, and it was a ton of 4-color, a ton of not just 4-color, but just like multicolor value decks, and then a bunch of Murktide.
Yeah.
What is it about this Ledger Shredder version that has you so high on it?
I really like that it plays the late game so well. Playing 4-color against Matt, and then in the challenge, it was really surprising how late they could go into the game. So I really like how grindy it is. I also think the mirror is pretty fun. So
yeah, I think that I was talking to one of our friends Matt Kling yesterday as we were in the car, and we were talking about the complexity of decks, and I put this deck as like the easiest, lowest complexity in Modern right now, and I actually think that's a huge benefit for the deck. It's very flowcharty. And your decisions get to be based on pretty simple problems to solve, and when you play a deck like 4-color that is not the case. All of your decisions, I actually put that on one of the more complex decks where it's like your decisions, how you fetch your lands or how you place your, your abundant growths can lose you the game 15 turns later. And this deck is very, the decisions that matter in the next 2 turns.
Yeah, I really like the Murktide deck because you can take time and try and find the best play. I love 4-color too, but you don't have that luxury playing 4-color if you want to finish your matches. So I agree. I think that's definitely one reason to play the deck is because you actually have time to figure out the best play.
How did you feel about the match you just played?
I think I got really lucky. I asked my opponent if they had Terminate in their deck. They said they had 2. So game 1, I was very fortunate to get the Murktide on turn 2 and just win the game with that. Game 2 was a bit more awkward. I was thinking about playing around Liliana and just playing my hearse.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it was probably incorrect. I probably should have played around Liliana there, but I got pretty fortunate that my opponent flooded out and I was able to navigate those Dothy Voidwalkers. So that's a really good card against Murktide.
Talk about the choice in which Voidwalker you killed.
Which one I bolted?
Or I think it was Fires, but...
Oh, was it the... Sure. That was the Unholy Heat. Well, it had Summoning Sickness, right? So it wasn't able to exile.
So you actually killed the new one.
Right.
So the one that you didn't kill was able to crack.
Right. He's able to crack in response to that. So I don't know. Maybe it was incorrect.
I don't know. I was just curious if that was something that you had thought about during that line specifically.
That card is so hard to play against. I'm sure I didn't play optimally, but my thought was that if I just get rid of the Dothy with Summoning Sickness, then he gets less value. And we were going down to like having 1 card in each other's hands, so it seemed okay.
Yeah, it seemed like, and also you knew what your opponent was drawing most of that time because of your baubles, which was probably pretty helpful.
I was ripping at the end of that, like having no cards in hand, drawing a spell every turn.
That bolt was hot.
Yeah, I like that bolt. I was a fan.
Talk to me really quickly before you go about these Utah 1Ks here at Game Grid. Like, how do you feel about what Jordan's putting together, what he's been doing for the players? I mean, we know that tomorrow there's this exact same event in another Game Grid. I was kind of curious your thoughts.
I think this is my 4th or 5th since COVID, 1K/3K that I've been to, and I absolutely love it. 1, there's AC out there, which I'm very grateful for. Keep that up. 2, it's just been a blast. All the people that show up here are great. People that run the event are great. It's been a blast. I am so glad that there's a place doing this in Utah.
Yeah, it's it's really funny to hear people from other parts of just even the United States that they have to drive 4 hours for their local RCQ. We had 3 RCQs last weekend. We had
2 this weekend.
2 this we're very fortunate, and we should one of the reasons I wanted to do coverage was really to promote players like you who are doing the grind on MTGO. You've got some great players that have been on coverage right now that maybe people have gotten a lot better since really during that pandemic. That Paul won on camera earlier today. That's a much improved player. How do you feel like the competition has changed pre-quarantine into now?
Yeah, it's a lot harder than when I first started. So obviously I like to win, but having competition increase is just a good thing. Having good players in Utah. What's the saying everybody says? Rising tide raises all ships. Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel that way about Magic, so it's great.
Awesome. Well, good luck in your next round. Hopefully we get to see you in top 8. And thanks for an awesome match to commentate.
Yeah, thanks for having me.